All right, guys, we're live. I'm here with my partner in crime, Kev's Point of View, aka Big Kev. Now,
Yeah, Big Kev's World. Yes, 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 everybody. And if any of y'all remember me from Kev's Point of View, I had a new channel for about a year or two called Big
yeah,
Kev's World. You guys should mosey on over there,
yep.
hit that
And
subscribe button because it's still
if you don't, you obviously support Kamala Harris. So,
absolutely don't
because
support Kamala.
you get to ask her or whatever if you support. I mean, you do realize though, Kev, when you have your videos up, though, you always got to put a viewer discretion is advised because you have so many people dancing for you on there.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, they get so upset. Like I got people at work that are like, I had one of them pissed at me after when Trump got sworn in. Went over there to the guy and started doing the Trump dance.
Oh, he's doing. Oh, so you made him dance like doing the Trump dance. He hated Trump so
Yeah.
much he started dancing.
No, I started dancing and it made him mad.
Oh, that's funny. I thought you said you had him dancing about Trump or
No, 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 no,
something.
no, 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 no. It was me. I was dancing, and then he got mad about it because he was like, "No, no, not you too," and I'm like, "Yes, me too."
So he was a Democrat.
Full fledged, 110% Democrat.
You hear that in the background? That ambulance, or was it ambulance or fire truck? I don't know.
Oh no, it's just a light.
Oh, it's just a light. Okay. Now I'm saying outside of my house, there's like an ambulance or something.
Well,
I
maybe
don't know.
they, maybe some of those people got maybe some things got hot because they found out that we were on a show together, and then they had to kind of put it out. I don't know.
Send these guys to jail. But yeah. So you remember how the TTC was. We were talking about this last night, and
Mm.
I don't know if I want to ask hurt the guy, but I mean people are crazy though. Now since people are out of the TTC, it's like I got this guy that was messaging me on Instagram or something saying about, yeah, I was with this hot chick, and sure enough, the chick was like all the pictures were on porn sites. I was like, dude, are you really that and trying to impress me or something? It's like I'm not special. What am I, like a celebrity or something?
Well, some people who, if they can't get themselves a girl, they'll go to great lengths to.
Well, sure enough, the guy's middle age. At first, I was like, when he did that, that reminded me of that Bruin still. Remember, he used to say he had a hot supermodel girlfriend, and we all knew he was full of shit.
Oh my God, Bruin Steele used to say that he had this hot model girlfriend that was a Victoria's Secret model at one point, and um, we
Hey,
all
you
knew
talking
that.
about my son, Kev?
Yes, I am. I'm talking about your son.
God damn it, Kev! I told you about that. Don't talk about my son.
Well, I mean,
All right, you go back in the corner. All right, fuck you guys.
hey, you know what? He knows that girl wanted him instead of Bruin Steele.
Yeah, that's true. He did know that's true. Well, Master Yu, he was in the gym training with that kung fu shit. Remember, he was
Oh yeah,
playing around trying to bring back Bruce Lee.
Master You is a sneaky little devil, man. He knows how to bring
Well,
people back to life. I remember one time he
I don't
brought
even
back
know what
Michael
he's doing
Jackson.
here. Isn't he supposed to be in the White House with Donald Trump mind fucking people?
Yeah, and a matter of fact, I think he even tried to. I think he tried to bring back Abraham Lincoln, but it didn't work. So kind of just.
Like, yeah, we can't. They said, yeah, you can't do that. That's against the rules. You can't bring back somebody from the dead that influenced the country.
I mean,
Speaking
if
of
you.
Abraham Lincoln, what about Stephen Rose complaining about, oh, he's the reason why taxes are in place or something? He's been bitching about that. He said Abraham Lincoln's like the worst president of all time.
He said that.
He did say that. I don't know. Maybe he must have been listening to Polston or something. Maybe I don't know.
You know, Stephen Rose is a very easily influenced
Well, we
guy.
could we could tell Stephen Rose the sky is green. He would believe it though.
But here's the thing, and this is, the prodigal champ, prodigal heel. He likes to he can easily manipulate Steven. It's not that hard to
Yeah,
manipulate.
he could tell Stephen that, hey, Trump said we're all going to be in concentration camps next week, and he'd believe it.
But to answer their questions, used to do I used to do research on Abraham Lincoln, and at one point I was going to be a history major, so I can honestly tell you
Yeah.
that Stephen is full of shit on that.
He said, well, the reason why well, you just believe anything. I mean, you do know people could put fake sources out and people will believe it. Like, there's a lot of shit on the internet. They'll read it off a certain site and they say, oh, this is real because this happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, but how much research did you dig into it, though? Did you go back all the way? People do know, though. I mean, I said this to you before. I said people do know that technically, the way history is, the real founding fathers are probably the Native Americans because they were here first. I mean, they found the country first, so I guess we could call them the founding fathers, you know?
Absolutely. And Native Americans were on this land for long, long time, and it was the English settlers and the French settlers that came here, and that's how we brought in the white man.
Exactly.
So, honestly, I look at it like this. I mean, the Native Americans are the only ones I feel like in this country that has a right to bitch.
Well, I don't know about you, Kev, but I do have Cherokee in my blood, so
I do as well, and I feel like
exactly.
yeah, and
Hey,
I feel like
us Cherokees got to stick together, you know?
yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, now, granted, being part Indian does try. If you're an older person, make sure you watch your cholesterol because being a
Now
native.
you're saying when you're saying Indian, we don't want to make the people feel dumb. Like we're not talking about the Indians that own the 7-Elevens, do we? The ones that smell real bad.
We're not talking about Hobby Boo or the poo.
Boo, yeah.
Yeah, we're not
With
talking
the red,
about the poo.
yeah, you're not walking around with the red dots saying, "Hey, you come again."
Yeah, no, we're not talking about you. We're talking about the Native Americans,
Yeah, exactly.
The Indian tribes, and everything. And it's just
I do think they should bring back the Cleveland Indians and Washington Redskins. I mean, I think it's people are just too ass hurt nowadays. I think it's all political bullshit, anyways.
it is. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, there should be no reason why they should have took away the Redskins or the Cleveland Indians.
Forget
When
that the Indians. The reason why they honored the Indians' name was because they had the first Native American on their team. That's what they forget, and they say, "Oh, they were racist or something." But then they forget about the Redskins logo that a Native American actually painted their logo.
mm-hmm,
So I
yep,
mean, you got to know your history. You just can't go by what the liberals say.
and the liberals, I um, I have a huge issue with that because if you look at a team like Florida State, the Florida State Seminoles in college football, they're still the
Yeah,
Seminoles. They didn't change their logo. Kansas City Chiefs, they didn't change their logo. The Braves didn't change their logo.
exactly.
So I'm looking at it like
Mm-hmm.
when I see Cleveland,
Yep.
I still look at them as the Indians. I don't
I
look
mean,
at them as
you see, sometimes the announcers will fuck up and call them the Indians. They try to get used to calling them the Guardians, but they'll fuck up and call them the Indians. So it's like, I mean, could you imagine? I mean, I'm dreaming here, but could you imagine, say the Indians, aka now the Guardians, they win the World Series? Imagine how the announcer, if they fuck up, they said the Cleveland Indians have won the World Series. Imagine that. Like, imagine how pissed off the whole country would be if they said Indians.
well, I look at it like this too: is that just because you complain about stuff now, and it's usually the people that are younger than us, younger
Yeah,
than our generation.
someone's that don't know the history and they just weren't lived. They didn't live long enough to see how the world was when we were alive. So
No, as they claim, they take time to research, but all they do is read like little websites that basically claim all this stuff, and then they run with it. They don't have a legit argument to
right,
throw out there. It's just a hey, well, CNN said this or MSNBC said this or that said that, so I'm going to choose to believe them because that's reporting.
right. Well, I like how that one. Did you see that one thing I sent you on TikTok where they were asking? Remember when the plane crash happened? And the plane fell in the ocean or whatever, or the water, the
Yeah,
river or whatever. And Trump was like, "I'm not going to go visit the site because what do you want me to do? Go swimming in the water?"
yeah.
He said,
I mean,
"I mean that's true. I mean, hey, you gotta hey, whether you like Trump or not. I mean, he is very comedic. When he says stuff, sometimes it makes it seem like he's joking, but he's actually serious. That's the funny part about it.
Trump is the biggest troll of them all.
No, Trump's not a troll. Trump's the puppet master of them all.
Yes, he is a puppet master.
How he makes people dance and shit. He made fucking Michelle Obama dance because she didn't even want to go to the inauguration.
She didn't even go to Jimmy Carter's funeral.
I thought she was supposed to care for the American people. She didn't care about that. Well, I thought she did go to. I thought she did go to Jimmy Carter's funeral, though.
No, Obama went solo, and what was funny was that Barack Obama and Donald Trump were over there laughing, giggling
Oh
like
yeah, yeah,
little.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, he didn't go. She didn't go. Yeah, that goes to show you how much she cares about. Hey, I guarantee Michelle Obama doesn't give a fuck about this country.
Michelle Obama sticks to her roots now. There's rumors going, if you believe it, there's rumors going around that her and Barack are having problems. I don't know. Apparently, there was a rumor going around had that he cheated on her with Jennifer Aniston. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't speculate rumors.
If that's true, then I'd fucking go all in on Jennifer Aniston. Fuck Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
I'd fuck. Hey, if Barack Obama got with Jennifer Aniston, I would fucking praise him because like that dude pulled her. I mean, that's fucking
Oh,
gangster right there.
sorry about that. Yeah. No, I mean, I would have been like, let's see, Michael Obama, that looks like she has 20-inch biceps, or would I rather go with Jennifer Aniston? It looks like a woman.
Right, exactly.
I mean, hey, I give Barack Obama all the credit in the world. If he really did snag that,
Oh yeah, I don't know if you know also, but there's a rumor. It might be true though, because there's a rumor that Joe Biden has checked himself in a nursing home.
I don't know if that's a rumor, but I do know that he did sign himself a talent agency. Actually signed Ben Laden, not Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
So Joe Biden is now a part of a talent agency.
You said he's trying to be like a model or something.
He might be on model. He might be on commercials. I mean, they do need those little life alert commercials. So you never know. I mean, like, I'm falling and I can't get up.
I sure as hell don't want to see him with Calvin Klein ad.
Stephen Rosewood.
Masturbate to it.
And we know Bruin Steel probably would be like, ooh.
And then remember when what was it? We were talking about last night where we had Dashy because Dashy apologized. We had him sing Taylor Swift over and over again.
Yeah, I remember. He apologized and he's like, so what do you want, Kevin? I'm like, hey, man, I want you to sing Shake It Off by Taylor Swift. He kept
Mm-hmm.
messing it up, and then I was like, not good enough. Nope.
Yep.
Nope. And I remember you recorded it, and he was like, "Lightning on my feet."
Yeah. Yes. Hey, hey, you know what though? We could bash Dashy all we want, but honestly, he was the greatest trash talker in the TTC. The greatest. I mean, don't you think everybody got clowned by Dashy?
Dashy threw no punch. Dashy didn't pull no punches on people.
I think his whole gimmick was like he made everyone think he was an idiot, but deep down he was a mastermind.
I believe that with Dashy. Oh
Because
yeah, absolutely.
remember when we
Yeah,
went in, remember we were on the hangout or something, he was like talking about how he knows the history of all the Bengals, and we are like, damn, we don't even know the history of the Bengals. How the hell did you know this? He even schooled you one time, Kev. He told you about the time when the Titans had one incident. He said, I don't even remember that.
yeah, I remember that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're like, damn, he schooled me. And then he schooled me and said, yeah, Matt, back in the day, you guys had Don Mikowski. I was like, damn, I didn't even know who that was. Don Majowski. I'm horrible at pronouncing names. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but he said something about that. And I said, yeah, I didn't even know he was our quarterback. All I remember was Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers.
I
But
mean,
he's a very NFL enthusiast or whatever you want to call him.
oh, he's a joker of all trades. Like he will come at you even if I don't like. I know the Nashville Predators are here, and I don't really watch hockey, but
Yeah,
he'll
he
come
was
at,
talking.
he'll come after me he'll come after me if like one of his hockey teams are facing mine and this and that, and
Yep,
I'm like, hey, give you what you want. Dashy could be a little pit bull.
he could. Yeah. Well, remember you tried out for the Anaheim Mighty Ducks one time.
I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah, tried out for the and it's like, damn, he was like more like Happy Gilmore when he first started out in the hockey league, and then he
yeah,
tried for golf and said, I can't do it. It's not good enough for me. He said, I'm better at hockey. But then they told him to be in his own happy place. So, and they said, imagine the Bengals winning the Super Bowl, and they just started killing it.
Dashy is a Dashy's a like I said. I mean, he follows basketball, he follows baseball. He knew stuff about Pete Rose that we all didn't know.
I
Um,
know. He told us one time Pete Rose came over his house one time and had a beer with his dad.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, damn, that's lucky. And then what was it? You said something about one time Pete Rose came over his house and he said, yeah, Dashy, Kane beat me up again.
Yeah, and he said Kane beat him up again, and then Dashy decided to fly here to Tennessee, and he kept asking me where Kane's mayor city, where his mayor office was, and I said that's in Knox County. You got to go to
Yeah.
Knoxville, Tennessee to find that, and he went all the way to Knoxville, Tennessee, tried to find a Kane.
Yeah. Then tried to beat up Kane. And then Kane said, kid, I got bigger issues to fry.
Well, Kane knew how crazy he was. I mean,
It's lucky that Kane didn't put him in a mental institution. I think Kane didn't put him in a mental institution because he knew how it was like before him when he used to be in a mental institution. I
well,
think
I
that's
mean,
where Kane cut him some slack.
well, I mean, you didn't want to put Dashy in a mental institution next to Jamal Seaton. That's just
Oh
kind
yeah,
of.
Jamal seeing pulling his pants down, twerking like a faggot.
I remember when he did that in front of all these bunch of guys and their wives are sitting there, and here he is just
Yeah.
pulled down, and you see these black chicken legs.
Oh yeah. Oh, and by speaking of pulling pants down, you remember that fucking weirdo pedophile? Eat that pussy fofo 5.
Oh my God, EDP, yes,
So
yes, I.
apparently he's back. He's got his own YouTube channel again. He's got 34. I mean, what idiots would sub to that clown? But I think I know why, because everybody like to watch train wrecks. That's what it is.
People are entertained by train wrecks or negativity or something dramatic. So yeah, of course they're going to sub up to it because
Mhm.
we all know the EDP's butt looks like a black looks like a Cajun style cactus blossom, but
Yeah, yeah.
but EDP though, you would think that man would be happy with his team. Philip, the Eagles has won a Super Bowl. They've been to 4 different Super Bowls.
And they
They're
might
in
win
their.
this one. You never know. They could possibly win this one too. You never know.
You
But he's
never
saying
know.
the Eagles aren't going to win because that's his gimmick. Though he wants everybody to think he's this depressed Eagles fan. So if the Eagles win, though, he'll just act all happy though. But deep down in his mind, he's probably like, I'd rather they lose so I could get more views and get a lot of money so I could go get Chipotle all the time.
And he looks like that eating Chipotle. I mean, that's sad.
And the fact that he goes in Chipotle and brags about clogging their toilets, I mean, come on now.
I don't think the workers at Chipotle are very appreciative of that they
Well,
have to.
when they say dropping pipe bombs, he was dropping them stink bombs.
And speaking of bombs, I'm sure A-Bomb's not happy about how the 49ers played this season.
Oh,
Um,
did you hear about the fact that he wants to bring the TTC back on Rumble or some shit?
I know Desert Eagle was telling me about that. Yeah, I heard
He's
about
like,
that.
wow. You know what the funny part about it is? I mean, we're over the TTC. We don't give a fuck about it anymore. But the fact that people want to bring it back, that goes to show you that they live no lives.
I mean, here's the thing: you can only trash talk for your team so much,
Yep.
but every day but you could trash talk and be one of the best trash talkers in the world. Unless your team plays good to back your ass up.
Well, you remember when you owned that fucking Stario and fucking you called him a Muppet or whatever, and
Mhm.
then fucking the Vikings go out and beat the Titans. You're like, I gotta really crow to this piece of shit. That
Yeah,
monotone sounding motherfucker.
yeah. And I mean, I called him a dirty Q-tip Muppet, but that's just.
Well, then
But
you had your favorite trash talker 313 calling you the Fat Undertaker.
hey, if I could be compared to the Undertaker, I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, I agree.
But honestly,
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but you're the Undertaker's cousin.
mm,
I mean, yeah. Remember? Yeah, we don't want to tell. We don't want to tell too much, though. Keep it keep it on the low.
no, I've kept that a secret for a long time. But yes,
Right. Well, when Dashy talks about Pete Rose, he just blabbers to everybody. He says, "Yeah, I know Pete Rose. He always comes to my house. He always did. Well, he's dead now, but he always came to his house. He always used to have a beer with his dad."
you know what I think is sweet is that every Christmas, Dashy gets a gift card from Roby Red. Says to Daddy to son.
Yeah. Today. Oh my god.
I mean, just think about it this way: Roby Reds was getting very. Last time I talked to him, he was very, very religious.
Oh, so he found God basically.
He found God basically. So I think now he just feels bad about having a son like Dashy, and he decides to send him gift cards every Christmas and birthdays and stuff like that. At least you could say that Roby Reds has been a good father.
Yeah, at least. Hey, he cares more about his child than other people do. A lot of people neglect their kids.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you gotta give him credit, I guess.
I mean, and then there's Duke Botters. Duke Botters is,
Oh, speaking of Duke Bothers, he did comment in the section, so you can say what's up to him.
hey, what's up, Duke?
I don't know if he's still here. He probably left and was eating Taco Bell like he did in that one video where he all that Taco Bell. He had a Taco Bell challenge or something. So he's probably eating Taco Bell or something.
Pepperidge, yeah. I see what he said there. You know, Duke Botters, I believe, and I'm predicting this. Whenever Jerry Jones finally croaks,
Mhm.
I think that they should let Duke Botters be the new owner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, because Steven Jones don't know what the hell he's doing.
I'm saying right now, I would like to see Duke Botters be the new owner or GM of the Dallas Cowboys.
You remember when Duke told Dashy, he's like, "Hey, I'm going inside the press box with Jerry Jones. If you want to come on along," and Dashy said, "I don't know. I got to go to school."
Hey, he was nice. He invited Dashy to come in to the press box of
Well, you remember
AT&T
that
Stadium.
one time when he brought you over in Texas? I mean, you were up in the press box. You were having a bunch of strippers there, and you were busting champagne. But then Mel got pissed at you. He's like, "Yeah, we got to get out of here."
Well, I mean, like one of those strippers got a little too close, so yeah, I had to.
Well, that.
Yeah, we had to get out of there and shit.
What was she? Was she good looking?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now, when the strippers came in, did they have like Victoria's Secret lingerie on and shit?
Well, they came in wearing like Duke Botter jerseys,
Oh, think about the jerseys. Okay.
and then one said baked potato because you know how
Oh yeah,
Duke likes his baked potatoes,
he loves his baked potatoes. Yeah, that's for sure.
and I think one of them looked at Duke Botters the wrong way, and he gave her a Duke cutter.
Oh yeah, he did. Oh yeah, I remember that. Remember, he used to always give people Duke cutters in the TTC wrestling community.
Oh my god! Anytime he'd walk in the room, he's like, "Ah."
Well, he was kind of a weird motherfucker in the locker room though. He was always talking about how the Cowboys were going to win the Super Bowl every year, and we always just said, okay, sure. He like lived in that fantasy world that he thought Cowboys were going to be this dynasty like they were in the '90s.
I remember when he stowed Slitta's green pants, and Slitta had to come out in like a little thong.
Yeah, well, he's prepping up for another TTC wrestling match because he's in the gym working out and shit.
Wow, Slitta's working out. Whoa! All right,
I
all
heard
right.
he goes into the gym butt naked, and they don't even say nothing to him. They say, "Hey, that's Slit. It's okay. He could come in. He's just drunk from last night." So, and he comes in butt naked, and all the girls stare at him like he thinks that they all want him. They want him. So he's like, "Hey, yeah, you ladies want me?" He's really pumping the iron, though. I heard.
I wonder if Bad Dog's still sweating ragu.
Oh yeah, he's definitely sweating ragu. Well, I heard he's doing it. He's pretty famous now. He's talking about the Yankees all the time, and gets millions of views from all around the world. I mean, he's killing it right now, man.
Oh man, you
I wish
know,
I could. I wish we would. I wish we were more close with Bad Dogs. I mean, he has connections at least.
well, I am a Yankees fan, but
That's true. You are a Yankees fan. Yep. And well, you guys came close to winning the World Series, but the Dodgers were just too much for you guys.
man, the Dodgers decided to stick it in the butt and then left it there.
Well, now they're signing all these star players. It's like, God damn. It's almost like the New World Order back in WCW. Remember when everybody wanted to join the New World Order? Everyone wants to join the Los Angeles Dodgers.
I mean, yo, I mean, why would you not? I mean, the team went to a World Series. They're
So
probably
then,
one.
so would the LA Dodgers be the New World Order, and then the Yankees are like the Wolf Pack?
That's safe to say. Yep.
Yeah, because everybody else is like, okay, everybody else is just like beneath them. So it's like, and then who would be the Goldberg though? I don't know who would be the Goldberg in the MLB. That's kind of hard to say. I guess
I
the
know
Atlanta Braves. I guess I don't know.
Atlanta Braves would be, and I think
I
the
mean,
Tex,
Goldberg is from Georgia, so that makes sense.
but we all know that because the Houston Astros cheat, they're the Ric Flair of the
Oh, yeah,
baseball.
right. They definitely are the Ric Flairs of baseball. Well, I heard Steven Rose don't even like the Astros. He said he was rooting for the Rangers. It's like I think Steven Rose just follows suit with anybody because he's just like, oh, I don't feel like. Hey, honestly though, I mean, if your team cheated though, I mean, are you going to say I'm going to stop being a fan? I mean, I wouldn't. If my team cheated, it's like you might as well just embrace the hate, I guess, right? You might as well say, okay, we're cheaters.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna say this, and I don't like Kansas City, and everybody knows how I don't like the Chiefs,
Yep.
and I don't like what they do, but I will give the Chief fans a lot of credit.
Mhm.
They don't give a shit if their team is cheated.
Well, that's the same when the Patriots. Remember, their fan base was like, we don't care as long as we're winning. Back in the day, they didn't have shit. So when your
Yeah,
team has nothing and you win all the time, I think that's the problem with everybody. I think we all hate the Chiefs, but hey, if they keep on winning, who cares? Their fans are happy.
the problem is with the NFL is it's become so commercialized, and then there's the
It's all
FanDuel.
about Taylor Swift now. Basically, they care more about the Taylor Swift fans. Who gives a fuck about teenage girls?
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, I know that. I mean, I know Stephen Rosewood, and I also know that Dallas Cowboy fan you used to talk to, Michael Rand. Michael Rand would definitely care.
Oh yeah, he would love it. He would love it if she tied him up and put a ball gag in his mouth. That's the only person on this planet that owns the all-time record against Michael Rand is Taylor Swift.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody else he owns, like he owned you and me so many times, it's like we lost track of how much times he owned us.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason why he left the TTC was because he was like, yeah, I own everybody so much, I got no competition here. And I guess he tried for UFC and was like, tried to own everybody there.
Yeah, yeah. But then he left the UFC when Chuck Liddell knocked his ass up.
That's true. That is very true. I
Hey,
don't know, but
they had to rearrange his nose.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, we haven't heard from him ever since. And then from last time I talked to him, he said he was into rugby. I don't know, like you have you ever heard of rugby? I never heard of it. I know it's a sport, but I don't know what is it supposed to be. It's just men playing around in bowls.
I don't know, but I mean, I'll tell you this though. I think that the Amy Adams shrunk should sell the Titans, and
Mhm.
I should buy them.
Yeah, I know you. I guess you would run the team a lot better than most of these people. Because right now, I think they're stupid, kind of going with Cam Ward. I don't even think Cam Ward's that even good. I think they should wait till next year's draft and get a quarterback. If they were smart and watched this podcast and listened to us, they would realize that, hey, Will Levis might not be the answer, but give him one more year. If he doesn't work out, then get a quarterback in the draft next year. Not this year, next year.
But people gotta understand too about him in particular is, and I'm not trying to defend Will Levis because he did make some boneheaded decisions.
Right.
However, when you're a young quarterback and you have two different offensive systems in a 2 year period, and you really haven't had a chance to get to know
Exactly.
Coach Callie's offensive
Offenses.
way. Oh yeah, offense. I think if you give him another shot, maybe.
Right.
Um,
No, I mean you're just throwing him up under the bus, basically. Like I said, I don't think Cam Ward would. I don't even think he would fit your offense that good, to be honest. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if you guys draft Cam Ward, he doesn't work out, then you just wasted a draft pick.
well, the problem with Cam Ward is he's a lot like he tries to be hero, so he's a lot like Will Levis in that equation. He tries to
Oh
be
yeah,
hero.
pretty much, yeah.
So I mean, he comes from a good college with Miami. I mean, the Miami Hurricanes are or a good college system to come from.
Yep.
I honestly, out of the two between between Cam Ward and Shador, I like Shador better because I feel like Shador is more NFL ready.
Right.
Shador is a lot more crisp with his passes, and he doesn't try to throw stuff in that isn't there. However, how good can Shador be without his dad?
All right. If his dad's not around, he's probably not good.
So I'm wondering, like, how good is he going to be? I mean, like,
So
is
then,
he going
like,
to
say
be?
the Browns. Let's say the Browns throw all their eggs in one basket and go after Shador. Will they consider firing Stefanski if Shador tells them to, just so they could get Deion Sanders on board?
Shadansky is actually not a bad coach. I just
I
think they
don't
have
think.
better.
I think it's more of their quarterback issue. I think. I mean, you got to admit though that was pretty dumb of them to get Deshaun Watson when he had those allegations and shit, and then he sat out for 1 year with the Texans. I mean, this guy's gonna be the guy to be your savior,
And he's been hurt every year
and he
with the
gets yeah.
Browns.
And it makes you wonder sometimes if he's just doing that on purpose, just so he could collect a paycheck. But I mean,
Well,
I don't think you get paid though if you get hurt though, right? Isn't there like some kind of clause in there where they say they can't pay him?
I don't know for sure.
What is
I think
guaranteed money though? That's the thing. So that's why he came.
I know there's in a wrestling contract because they have it with AEW and WWE that if
Mhm.
you miss any days, they can when your contract ends, they can add on those days because you missed.
Oh yeah,
So I mean, I don't know if the NFL's like that, but
right.
I do. The one thing I will give credit for is I will give Miles Garrett a lot of credit. The fact of the
Right.
matter is, he's 29 years old. He's been one of the best defensive ends in all of football.
Hmm.
He deserves to be on a winning team.
Yep.
I mean, whether that be your Green Bay Packers or whether that be, I
Detroit
think he,
Lions.
I think he needs to go to the NFC. I think he needs to get away from the AFC,
Yep.
try something new with the NFC.
I just hope he doesn't go to a team like the Lions though. I mean, that would make their defense look really good.
Well, especially if you get a healthy Hutchinson and him at the same time.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that'd be dangerous. And I,
yeah.
like I said, I hate the Lions, but I gotta admit that that'd be a deadly duo.
Now, if he
But
goes,
I think they would. Well, the Browns are gonna want to like haul of draft picks. Though they're not going to just give them away for a
Oh
kicker.
no, absolutely not. I mean, but
No.
here's the thing though: if the Browns traded him and some team actually gave them all those picks,
Mm-hmm.
Will Cleveland even know what to do with all those picks?
They'll probably just trade it for another star quarterback, and he'll fuck up too.
Cleveland fans, I know you got. I know this got to be hurting. I know.
Crazy dog.
Crazy Dog, and I feel bad for him because I know he carries around that bag of shit all the
Mhm.
time. But you have to give him credit though, because I mean you have to give him credit for sticking in with the Browns fans. I mean,
He's got the Cavaliers and the Guardians. I mean, at least they're killing it.
he pretty much, the one thing I love about him is the fact that he stays true to his team
Mhm.
regardless of how bad they are. And believe me, right now the Titans are bad, and I've seen Titan fans go. I've seen in the comment sections they're going, "I'm just going to go to a new team and blah blah blah." I'm like, fuck you.
Right.
You know, every person on here, from you and I to Nick to Duke Botters to Desert
Mhm.
Eagle, all of us, we have all had our teams one way or another
Go
have
through a struggle.
have gone through struggles,
Yep.
and it sucks, but
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're going from team to team because you want to win all the time, I mean, you're obviously not an acceptor of losing. You don't accept losing.
then again, I can understand the fans' perspective. I
I mean,
mean,
yeah, well, and then because the ownership doesn't give a fuck about them, that's all it is. I mean, I could get it if someone says I don't want to be a fan, or if you're not going to be a fan of the team, might as well just say I'm just going to watch football. I'm not going to be a fan of another team because I don't want to feel like a traitor. I'm going to just stop watching football, or just say I'm going to watch and just whatever happens happens. I mean, I guess the ownership don't give a fuck about the team, so why should I?
exactly. I mean,
Don't go
honestly,
to the games, don't buy the merchandise, do all that shit. Don't do anything. Like it. Don't give them give them money, and just boycott them. Don't show up to games, and then they'll see how the fans don't want to be at the games anymore, and they'll be like, well, if we do that, maybe they'll start. The ownership might be like, hey, we'll change because they're not showing up at the games and shit.
man, I tell you what, I think the NFL is. I mean, we all know they've lost viewership badly.
Well, you remember the one time when the NFL was going through that struggles. I mean, with the whole protest and shit or whatever. I'm going to kneel for the national anthem. At that one time, TTC wrestling was more viewed than NFL.
Yeah, yeah.
And like everybody was walking up to us and said, "Damn, you guys are a lot better than NFL." And I was like, "Wow, thank you." And I was like, I honestly, I didn't know. I looked at the viewership of the NFL. I was like, "Damn, their stock went down that quick. Their viewership and shit." I mean, you were pretty amazed. You're like, "Damn, I didn't think we were that popular." You know what I
No,
mean?
I didn't think we would be that popular, but we were.
And then, well, we were also more popular than WWE at the time too. Now WWE's more popular now because I mean, TTC wrestling's out of business. So
If you must know, Matt, I'm coming in on another device because my phone is kind of dying.
oh
So,
yeah, I kind of hear. I think the government's kind of tracking our conversations. Like, yeah, we don't want these guys talking to each other anymore. You know what I mean?
oh yeah,
Well, what would you have to say for a government tracking our conversations? I mean, are they that impressed with us?
they could be.
They could be. I mean, these probably like, yeah, we want them to come down to the White House and shake hands with Donald. Hey, if they had us come down to the White House and shake hands with Donald Trump, I'd be more than honored. I would also, I wouldn't mind even having him on this podcast. Just talk to him, see how he really is as a person. And I know a lot of people think that we hate the Democrats so badly, but honestly, I wouldn't even mind if Joe Biden wanted to be on here and talk to us. We'll talk to him like a normal human being. We don't care.
Oh my god, I definitely don't care. I mean, if they want to talk that way, we'll talk. I mean, it is what
Right.
it is.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I think everybody just thinks that because we have personal views towards somebody. We actually hate them. We don't hate them. We just despise what they're doing to the country. That's all it is. Hate's like a strong word. If you really hate somebody, you really have a lot of strong anger towards that person.
Hate is a very hate's a very strong word, and it's a very nasty word at that. Because
Yep.
if you're gonna hate somebody,
You must hate them because you're upset with your life and you just want to make their life look like hell.
oh yeah, absolutely, and I think that's the
Well, you
biggest issue.
always said back in your high school days when you saw a bully a nerd or something, you'd beat the shit out of him.
I did back then. Yep.
So you what did you end up getting suspended because of it, or did they applaud you?
Actually, they were happy that I stood up for the
The
nerd.
nerd.
Yep.
That's what a lot of people don't understand about you, Kev. Everybody thinks you're like this hard ass convict. Like I know you used to be in jail all the time, but the fact is you're a down to earth person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when you were in jail, though, what was it like there? Was it like weird or what? I mean, it was not like prison or nothing. It was just normal jail, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those things where you see the weirdest of the weird.
Yeah,
Um, you see the one. They always have a gay in there.
yeah, that's true.
Um,
Now that gay person. Now I don't want to track you off on your story, but that gay person. Now, didn't you say that he was homo? I mean, did you say that he was gay because his parents didn't love him enough or something?
that's what he claimed. He said that his parents didn't love him enough, and that they wanted him to
Get a
become
girl?
a that they wanted him to become a lawyer, but he wanted to become a as I and I quote, he said that they wanted me to become a lawyer, but I wanted to be a. He said I wanted to be one of those New York Rockette girls.
Oh God. Now
So
that was very when you met the guy. I mean, was he trying to be gay towards you, or was he scared of you?
scared.
You scared, and you said, "Hey, look here, man. I'm not going to beat you up. I'm just here for a short time of period." Because he was there for only what, just one day, right?
Yeah, he was only there for one day.
And his parents came over and bailed him out or something.
Oh, and his parents didn't bail him out. Someone else that looked like Marilyn Monroe bailed him out. I don't want to speculate, but
Now that wasn't a real woman though. Was that a transvestite?
it was a drag.
Oh God. Well, transvestite drag, the same thing, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Now we don't know what happened after that though. You never seen him after that, right?
No, never.
Okay. Now back to your jail story though. How long were you even in jail? I know you said something about what, a few weeks, or was it a little longer?
It was a few weeks.
No. Oh God, I'm trying not to laugh too hard. It's like I've honestly found this story hard to believe, but you were in jail because someone called the cops on you for making a video about him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my God. I mean, the reason why I'm laughing, people, is like I find this hard to believe that the lawyer would believe a person calling the cops on somebody. It's like, so that goes to show Americans, like, okay, if I go call the cops on this guy, he'll get arrested.
Well, it was like that woman years ago who went to McDonald's and her kid got fat after eating all those chicken McNuggets, and she sued McDonald's for her kid getting fat. I'm sorry, you're the one that went to McDonald's and bought those McNuggets for that kid.
Exactly. So maybe you should be in jail,
Right, exactly. And it's like, you know, it's your fault that your kid's going to have a heart attack at 30.
right? Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, maybe you should start having better choices for your child and start making them eat. But the problem is, though, with the country is healthy food is way more expensive than it is fast food and shit. Fast food's way more cheaper than healthy food, believe it or not.
But the one thing I'm actually liking with Robert Kennedy Jr. being our health person is now they're going to start taking away all this bad shit that's in our food.
Oh, yeah, that's
And
true. Well, that's mainly what's in our food is the chemicals.
if anyone's ever seen this before in the air, if you ever see those little trails, those are pretty much
Chemtrails.
yeah chemtrails. Yeah, they pretty much
Yep.
they spray like all this bad shit in the air that
Yep.
really like can get a bunch of us sick, and it has worked. And
Exactly.
and it's bad though that you spend time in jail just because somebody got so butthurt over a little joke online, and you know it went that far.
I just don't understand why you had to do like 2 weeks in jail.
Well, I also had to do an anger management program.
Oh my god. I'm sorry to laugh at you, Kev. I mean, I know I'm not laughing at you, but I'm just laughing at the story.
It's a funny fucking story. When they came to arrest me, I laughed. It was like, are we really serious? You guys gonna put the cuffs on me just because I made somebody dance online?
Oh
All
my
right.
god. Oh god. But then what was it like but the officer was actually nice. They took you to Chick-fil-A. I mean, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, he was a subscriber of Kale's Point of View, and he was like, "Hey, before I take you in, would you like some Chick-fil-A?" And I said, "Yeah, I would love some grilled chicken and some waffle fries." Yep. Yeah.
The other officer though, wasn't that his I guess the other officer was kind of like a pipsqueak and he kind of fucked him around like with punking him and shit because you heard him in the car, they were talking to each other, and every time he would just talk down on the guy. But then sooner or later though, you found out that that guy was a new guy. He was a new officer and he was learning the ropes.
Well, he was trying to show that officer, hey, don't go after the Dunkin' Donuts and the Krispy Kreme. You have to go after something more healthier because criminals now are faster, and
Yep.
you can't have these big pot belly cops out there. And
Yeah, it's true. That is absolutely. But I did hear you were gonna apply to be like an ICE officer or something. You're gonna be part of immigration or something.
I did put my application in to be an ICE officer here in Tennessee. Yep, I did.
Oh yeah. Now you did get a letter from Donald Trump though, right?
I did.
And then Donald Trump was like, "Hey, we want you to," because they knew he saw your workout videos, and you used to be a what was it? You used to be a security guard or something for
Yep.
movie productions or something.
Oh, it was like nightclubs, bars, and stuff like that. So I've seen all different kinds of nationalities, different people, and so
Now
yeah, yeah.
you didn't you just got the resume though. You just sent your resume and they didn't hire you back, or did you get a look at how it's gonna be?
I have a look at what it's going to be, and
Gonna
it's
be
not
pretty
going to
bad.
it's not going to be easy. And
Yeah. Well, you
there's
do
not
have the reason why you did it because you have Mexicans living across the street from you, right?
had them across the street, next door, behind me, and another house door and down, and it's like.
It's like, come on, people.
And then yesterday, when I was coming home from work, I saw a guy driving this Lamborghini, and when you see a Lamborghini, you're thinking, okay, some rich dude or some old guy probably with a Social Security. No, it was a young 20-something-year-old Mexican driving it.
Okay. Now, what did that tell you? What if he's driving a Lamborghini? What does that tell you? He's selling drugs,
Yep, yep,
and he must
yep.
work with the cartel. That'd be one thing too.
You know, ISIS is hiring people in every state to volunteer and do their stuff. So I figured, you know what, why not volunteer and get rid of the cartels and get rid of all the.
Right. Exactly. And it's nothing against immigration. Everybody thinks, oh, if they get rid of the Mexicans, they're against Mexican people. They're not against Mexican people. They want them to come over the right way, and that's not just Mexican people. That's everybody.
Hey, there's 313 Hitman listening in.
Hey, hey, you can have your ruckus all you want. We don't care. You want to say something bad about us? We don't care. We're decent people.
I will tell them this though. Like if the Lions can get their hands on Miles Garrett,
That would be something. Hey, like I
that
said
would be
earlier, I said that would be a deadly duo, him and Aiden Hutchinson. I'm not even lying because I'm a Packers fan, but I'm also a realist too. I'm not going to be like, oh, the Packers are going to be better than the Lions. If they get Miles Garrett and Aiden Hutchinson, now if he stays healthy, obviously, they could be a deadly duo.
I think if the Lions would have been healthy, they would have beaten the Commanders.
I think that's what I think the injuries caught up to him. I told everybody. I mean, I know everyone hated to hear it, but I said, hey, look, the Lions got injuries, and it's going to catch up to him in the playoffs. Commanders weren't even the better team, but they just got hot at the right time. But then they got blown out the next week against Philadelphia.
yeah, I think they would have given the Eagles more.
And I agree. Legal immigration does cost U.S. money.
Well, yeah, I mean, like if you look at it from this standpoint, like now, if you are an actual immigrant and you come into this town and you're going through the channels and you're trying to get the proper paperwork, then welcome to America. You know,
Exactly. Well, I'd rather have tax-paying money to come into someone that comes the right way than have to
right?
come to somebody being on welfare and shit.
The problem is, and you see these illegal immigrants,
They're
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 doing
scary little
videos,
motherfuckers.
challenging Donald Trump to come get them, and I'm like, why in the world would you show where the fuck you work at
Yeah, that's
on a
pretty cool
video?
too. Yep. And
I mean,
sure enough, they'll probably get deported.
well, I mean, and it's costing us a lot of money, and it's costing us a lot of like jobs that are not being taken. They're taking jobs, and companies can work around the system and pay these guys, pay these men and women under the
Right.
table, which is
Yep.
illegal, but
It
they
should.
can usually
Well,
pay.
so is under the table jobs, but people still do that too.
Correct. And I feel like that with the illegal immigrants, they can get away with it a little bit more than they can with someone like you and I or Hitman or someone like that. So,
Right. Well, 313 Hitman's going to sign up for it too. Be an ICE agent. He'll be the hitman of the ICE agents. But I think I didn't know honestly. I never got to know 313. I never knew he was against illegal immigration. I thought he was for it. Not gonna lie.
well, you never know unless you know.
That's
I
what
mean,
that's what I'm saying. You never know until you tell somebody. When you open up to people. Well, that's the thing we were talking about too. It's like if someone's got a problem. I mean, I'm not a hateful person. I'm not gonna hate on somebody because they're a fan of this team or a fan of that team. I'm just gonna be like, hey, even if you're a fan of that team, I don't care. We'll still be friends. But it's like if you got problems, you should talk to me. Don't act like something's wrong and then we're supposed to be friends. You're supposed to tell me your problems. Don't be afraid to tell me there's a problem. You know what I mean?
no, the thing with this illegal immigration is that I understand these people who are trying to protest and everything. I find funny about those people who are protesting because majority of you claim that you hate your country, that it's
Yep.
so bad that you want to get away from it, but yet when we're trying to take you back home, you're
Mhm.
waving your Mexican flag like you're proud to be
Mhm.
a Mexican now, and I'm just like, well, if that's the case, pack your bags and take your ass home.
Exactly. Pack your bags and take your ass home. And we don't need you here. I honestly, I honestly think. I hate to say this because they were born in America, but I feel that people that are actually waving Mexican flags and burning American flags, I think they should be deported too. Deport them to Mexico.
Well, from what I hear, um, they're not going after. They're mainly going after the cartels and the drug lords and the bad people. Um,
Yep.
but if you're harboring one of those and you are an illegal immigrant, they will take you as well. Which I tell you what, though, the Mexicans that live across the street from me are
Yep.
fantastic. They're fantastic people.
Hmm.
The guy lives here and he's actually went through the proper channels. Him and his wife have,
Oh, that's cool.
and he's always been a
You,
helpful person, and he's learned English,
and I
which is
said I said before. I mean, I'm not trying to stick up for most of them, but I do see Mexico is so broke. and like they'll come over here and work cheap jobs. I mean, it's wrong, but I mean, when you're in a situation like that, you'll do whatever it takes to help your family.
The problem is though is that when they
When
own a
they do that, everyone else does it though, and they don't want to do it the right way.
or the problem is with the immigrants too is that they'll have a bunch of them live together and work and stuff like that, and that's how they're taking the housing. That's why the housing markets in every state has been so high because there's so many of them moving into these states, and
Yep.
it's causing
Inflation.
inflation, and it's causing
Yep.
like apartments
Yep.
housing to be more expensive than it was say like 10, 15 years ago, and then you have that issue.
This is economic welfare gentlemen. That's all
Yep.
it is.
Yep.
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 Well,
Ab-
well, I don't know. Gran Torino was actually filmed in Detroit, so I think 313 Hitman knows all about the immigrants that there, and they were like gangs and shit. Well, you had some of them that were good people, but you did have some gangs. What's funny though, Kev, at my job, I was training this old lady. I thought actually she looked Korean. I thought she was like come over on a work visa or something from South Korea. But sure enough, she does live in the United States. I was like, wow. And she seemed pretty nice. So that goes to show you not everybody's a hardened criminal that's an immigrant. It's just the fact that some of them come over the right way, and the ones that do it the wrong way, they ruin it for all of them.
there's a girl that works with us that
Mhm.
nice girl, good worker, knows English pretty well. She's
Yep.
from she's from Afghanistan. Her and her guy are. But the thing is, she's scared now because they haven't got their proper visas in yet,
Oh shit.
and they're really scared about being taken away and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
but this person's really nice, and I feel for him. But it's like,
Right.
but it's also too some of these states, and I know in Tennessee in particular,
Mhm.
the immigration offices work like a fucking sloth. They work very turtle pace.
Yeah, they do. They do everything. I think
Right.
it has a lot of it has to do with like whoever has the most money or something. If you have enough money to pay for it, like say you pay for it real fast, I think you'll get immigration that quick. If you have money, that's the problem. The thing about this country is if you got money, you could overachieve anything here. That's all it is. That's all it takes is just to have money.
And that's just the economic structure. I mean, when people are getting mad at Donald Trump for wanting to do these tariffs, what they don't realize is that he's not trying to raise the prices here. It's on foreign goods. He's
Well, then
taxing.
they say I saw a thing on TikTok. They said it might raise the prices for a little bit, but it will go down.
Exactly, and that's just something that if everybody just calms the fuck down and give this guy time. I mean, he's
I
only
mean,
been in office.
we tried to give Biden time. You didn't see me. I wasn't trying to. I was just sitting back saying, okay, can this guy make the country greater? But then all he did was leave the fucking door open while all of them walk over.
You know what's bad about that is that here in Tennessee alone, here in Nashville, there's been a lot of human trafficking going on.
See, that's the problem too. With that illegal immigration and shit, they could
Yeah,
do that.
yeah.
But
Well,
it could be anybody too, not just illegals. It could be people that are actually born here in some sick, twisted thing.
what's happening to some of the girls here, and this is what I've been reading stories about, is that they'll go downtown and they'll order like an Uber or a Lyft, right, to take them home.
Right.
Some of these Uber drivers are posing as Uber drivers and not really Uber drivers,
They're
and
setting them up. They're setting them up basically.
then they will put something in their air vents that is like chloroform, and it would knock these girls out and take them and sell them to the biggest person.
Right. That's the thing. That's the thing. 3-1 hit man. They're. I mean, either way, like, don't matter legal way or the wrong way. Immigration is never going to go away. Like, you think that everybody thinks that Trump's going to deport everybody. It's not. It's how much money it costs to deport everybody, and then like, where are you going to put them? You can't deport that many. I mean, he's going to try to get the ones that are hardened criminals, for sure, absolutely. But I'm saying, like, say, like you're an illegal immigrant and you're afraid you got to park, you got to like speeding ticket or something. They're not going to deport you. They're going to try to go after the ones that are really, really hardened criminals. You know what I mean?
I felt so bad for that girl, Lakin Riley.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That
You know,
that that did not have to happen.
and she got raped by an illegal immigrant who,
Exactly.
and
And killed.
that killed her. So,
Yeah.
and the motherfucker had no remorse on his face whatsoever.
Yeah,
And
because he's a hardened criminal. He doesn't give a fuck.
then you have some of these illegal immigrants who are like cartel people. They were taking apartments away from people,
Right.
forcing their way in there and stuff like that. And you have
Right.
the problem is when you have a black market where you can
Yep.
buy guns off the black market and sell them on the streets.
Well, that was the whole thing I said before about them trying to ban guns. I mean, they do know people are going to just get them off the black market.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. But I think, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Like, honestly, like I said before, I know I get it. There's some of them that cross the border legally, but you got
Yeah.
your Mexican cartel and shit too. And a lot of them are like shipping them over here too, just so they could come over here and work. So it's like, we I've always said, like, honestly, I'm not even against immigration. I got a fiance in the Philippines, and I'm gonna do it the right way. I'm not gonna be like, oh,
Right.
I'm gonna have her cross the border illegally or come over here on a tourist visa and then marry her here so she could stay. Or I'm gonna try to do it the right way. That's the thing. And you know about Donald Trump? A lot of people don't know this. They think he's against immigrants, but his two wives were immigrants.
Absolutely. And Melania is an immigrant.
Yeah, exactly. Well, she's not anymore. She's a U.S.
She's not.
citizen, but
Yeah, yeah. She's not anymore. But that I think what these immigrants don't seem to understand is he's going after the cartels and the drug lords and the ones
mm-hmm.
who are here that are bad people.
Yep.
But the cool thing is that he's now Mexico is deciding to help us with the border now, and they're actually, and that's something that Donald Trump, and that's something that people don't understand. Is Donald Trump being a businessman? He's used to getting things his way.
Right. Now, is he going to get everything his way? No, but he's going to
No,
try.
no, he's going to try. I mean,
I
it's
mean,
one.
you only got 4. I mean, believe it or not, 4 years is not enough to turn this country around. I just hate to say that, but we have to do something way more than that just to turn the country around.
We
But I
do.
think what's going to happen, though, is I mean, I hate to say this, they're going to find a way to try to impeach him, and then we're all going to be fucked, I think, because they'll put Vance in. Vance doesn't have the mind of Donald Trump. I mean, sorry, but he's the vice president, but he doesn't have Donald Trump's mind. You know what I mean?
Well, Hitman's right. They are helping because they don't want them tariffs being
Yep.
charged with Mexican stuff. And so, yeah, I do. But at the same time, though, it's actually a really smart tactic by Donald Trump because it's like, okay, let me put you on these tabs, and you're like, well, hold up. If we help you and we finally help you get rid of all these immigrants,
Yep.
and that's what Trump's like, okay, well, I'll just put a delay on this until you help me.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So
I think the whole logic of it all is Donald Trump does not want these countries to cheat us. Like we're the ones paying them all these we're sending them money and they're not helping us. I mean, it should everybody I think the whole world should help each other out. You know what I mean?
the United States has got the biggest oil resources in this country in the whole entire world, and it's about time we start using it and
Yep.
having people pay us to have
Right.
our and not
What?
the other way around.
Well, I don't know if you know this, Kev, but when I was over in Dubai, they don't I didn't know this, but they actually don't pay taxes. They got so much money with oil, they don't pay taxes. Like everybody that works there doesn't pay taxes. Ain't that crazy?
That
That's what goes to show you
that
when you got a bunch of oil, you could use that and don't have to. But America, I think we're just too selfish. We don't want to use it to our best advantage.
and what's Donald Trump doing too? He's doing something about this whole thing with Ukraine. He's like, hey, this country with Joe Biden's giving you so much amount of money. Now it's
Yep.
your turn to do something for us.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like
I,
I
I
scratch your.
I still remember that though when fucking it was funny when Biden called fucking Zelensky President Putin.
That was funny.
That was hey, a lot of stuff he said was kind of funny. Like and people, I think that's why America voted for Trump. They realized Kamala is just as bad as fucking Biden.
I
You know what
think
I
that
mean?
well, the best thing about this term for Trump compared to the last one, he's got really smart people in place now.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, a lot of people are in place.
He's got a lot more people that are experienced with things, and they,
Yep.
you know, and I think him being gone for 4 years, I think changed him for the better. And then obviously when you get almost killed by an assassination, that changes you as a person. And I mean, I still love the fact we're getting those mean tweets from him, and we're still getting the.
Well, I mean, I do like his character though too. I mean, I think that's why a lot of people. I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, a lot of people probably did vote because he says it like it is, and that's what people like. They like it when people say it like it is. And 313 Hitman is really surprised me. I didn't know he was very much for Trump. But if you do know this, Kev, when black people had businesses, their businesses were booming with Trump. You know what I mean?
I do, yeah.
And
And
when Biden went in, their businesses went down.
honestly, a lot of the criminal activity that I'm seeing around Nashville
Hmm.
is not the is not really the African Americans anymore.
The Mexicans.
Yes, these Mexicans and these people
Yep.
from overseas that are coming in, and they're the ones who are breaking into cars, stealing people's guns. Now, I will say, if you are an idiot that puts your gun in your car and you leave it there in the middle of the night, then you deserve to get your fucking shit stolen. But
Right.
I know what I do is I have a safe for mine. I know the code. Mel knows the code.
Yeah.
If I want to bring out the big boomstick, it's in my, you know, it's where I can see it.
Yep, exactly. Well, whoever does that is an idiot because some idiot could just bust a window open and take it out the glove compartment and just fucking walk around with it. But if they use that gun, can't they track it and say, "Hey, someone's got your gun" or something? Or it'd probably be impossible to do that.
Not if you register the gun, and not if you do it to where you register your gun
Hmm.
and you decide to take like courses to get your license to carry. Then
Right.
yeah, your guns on is on this computer where they can look it up and look up the number, the serial
Yeah.
number.
So they can say, "Oh, hey, this guy got your gun." That's the
Yeah.
only way, unless they like like drop it or something, they find it, then they can track. But I mean, you know how long that's going to take for them to do that? A
Well,
long time.
it's the same way them stealing a car. Like they steal a car and they wreck your car. Obviously,
Right.
obviously it's going to come back in your name, but
Yeah, but they're how's they gonna? They could say they could try to track it down, but they could just drive off with it, and it'd be like a chase, like OJ style.
I
I
mean,
like what's
what's
that?
that? What's that, Matt?
I like what a 313 Hitman said. Yeah, a good magician never reveals his secrets. I mean, he didn't say that, but I was just wording the way he said it.
Well, I mean, not everybody has to know everything about you on the internet.
Well, that's the thing. Like when I went back to what the one dude from the TTC was doing with me, he's like, "Okay, you're sending me pictures of these hot young girls that are Asian, and you said to me you're sleeping with someone right now." It's like, okay, if you're sleeping with someone right now, why the fuck are you messaging me? You know what I mean?
No,
It's
I
like,
get you.
why
No,
would
I
I
get
give a fuck anyways? Why would I care if you're fucking a girl? I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not trying to sound like an asshole, but I mean, I'm just saying it like it is. Like, who cares if you're fucking a girl? I mean, for all we know, that girl could have herpes or something.
I still think that these what we're going to see in the next couple months is you're going to see, and that's the thing about liberals. They're all like, well, Trump. It's been 2 weeks and Trump still hasn't lowered this or that. Technically, actually, he has in some ways because sometimes when I've gone grocery shopping, some prices of things have gone down.
Hmm.
So it all depends on what you get. But now I'm able to like, oh, I can actually save a little bit of money now.
Save a little money. There you go.
So I believe that we should get rid of. I believe that as a country we should get rid of income taxes.
I
I think,
agree.
and I think like that we should.
We're already paying too much in taxes. That's the point. I mean, every year it seems like taxes go up. They don't ever go down.
I think if we can stop doing these, because builders got to build, and then when all these illegals are coming over here and they need places to stay, obviously. Here's what I want to say: for people like Selene Gomez and all these people crying saying those were their people, if you celebrities cared so much about these illegal immigrants, why don't you open up your fucking home
Exactly.
and let them stay in your big ass mansion?
Yeah. Well, God forbid they don't trust them. They're strangers, I guess, right? I don't know. It's all fucked up. But the celebrities, they're just puppets, anyways. They're all want to vote. They all say vote for Kamala, but at the end of the day, they don't give a fuck. They're just doing that what they're told.
Hitman's right. I'm the same way. I don't mind being taxed, but I just hate getting taxed on bullshit stuff.
I know we shouldn't be taxed on bullshit stuff. And you think about it, most of our taxes should be going to this roads and shit, but they never work on them.
And the roads here are horrible. I mean,
Yeah, same here. We got potholes and shit.
yeah, it's insane, and it's
Take your
like
sweet old time to fix the roads and shit.
now here's what I'm pissed about. Roads and highways need to be fixed around here in Nashville, but yet they decided to build a $2.2 billion stadium for a
That's the
team
TC.
that really, in all honesty, and I know I'm a Titans fan here, but they don't deserve it.
I know, and the taxpayers' money shouldn't pay for that.
Well, they claimed that taxpayers' money wasn't going to pay for it, but they lied about that.
Well, it was the same with Pittsburgh too. I heard about they said they weren't going to pay for the stadium in Pittsburgh, the new which was Heinz Field at the time. They said they weren't going to pay for it, and then after a while, they turned around and said, "Oh, they voted for it." And they said they didn't weren't going to allow it, but then they let them. They ended up having them pay for it anyways. So they tricked them.
So I think what Trump's trying to do is he's trying to get some of these big tech companies like like Walmart and
Yeah, I agree. I don't hate taxes either. I just hate getting taxed on some bullshit. If we're getting taxed on important stuff for the country, I'm fine with that. But if we're getting taxed just to house illegal immigrants and shit or whatever, I mean that's what pisses me off.
yeah, it's I'll tell you what though, everything's going to fluctuate no matter who the president is. It could be, it took a while when Trump was in office last time for gas to finally go back to like $1.50 or $1.60.
You
So,
know, but everyone will say, "Oh, that's because of COVID," though.
you know, here's my issue with the whole COVID and
Yeah, they are made with cheap material. That's the thing. They don't want to get the expensive shit. That's the thing.
they leave the roads the way they are, so
They could
they're
stack
all
buildings.
they're all in it together. They leave the roads the way they are because they
Yep.
mess up your tires, they mess up things on your car, so you can send them to a mechanic who can overcharge you.
Yeah. So they're gonna make money then.
Right. And then that tax from that money goes to the state. And that's all this marches down to is that. But back to the illegal immigrants, I have an issue with the fact that they let them walk over.
Hmm.
My thing is, you should test them before they walk over. Like, you should be like, okay, if you want to come over, we're going to test you for this disease, that disease. We're going to
Give them a background check.
give them background check and stuff like that. So that way,
Yep.
if they have outstanding warrants in another country, you send their ass back.
The thing too, a lot of them come over here legally. We don't know if they got diseases and shit. They could be spreading diseases and shit.
Well, it was like when Biden became president, and it was like still in the heart of the COVID thing, and he was like threatening to take away people's jobs if they didn't get a shot and stuff like that.
That's fucked up. They should be forced to get a shot.
But what they should have done was like, okay, if you come over here illegally, guess what? You need to be tested.
Yep.
And I feel like that's a lot of where the spread came from because they had people who were flying overseas
Yep.
to places, or then you had illegal immigrants coming over, and they
Mhm.
probably had this disease and they spread it out to somebody else. And it's like,
Yep.
that's the biggest issue right there is not cleaning up something like that. Because that's now why we're having these problems with like the bird flu and all this other stuff, is because
Mhm.
it's it's come on people when it's
Right.
now it's made people so crazy. It's made the cost of eggs so expensive you can barely find eggs around here.
Well, yeah, because the bird flu. Yep. I mean, it is ridiculous. I mean, when you have all that shit going on with that, I don't know. But I feel like the countries should be in the better direction. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, the country's bad because the media is telling them that," but it's probably not. If the media tells you something, you can't believe everything the media tells you.
The media's job is to narrow their story to their liking.
Right?
It's
They make it where Trump looks bad, where he says, "I'm going to be a dictator on day one," but they didn't show the whole clip. They cut it off and just say, "Oh yeah, here, look at this. He said he's going to be a dictator," but they didn't say the other parts. What he said after that, they edited it,
oh, absolutely, that's exactly what they do.
and that's what they do. And they try to make it look like Trump's an evil person when he's not. And I thought as soon as Trump got in, though, I thought it was going to be a dictatorship. It ain't look like no damn dictatorship. And he was in office before it was no dictatorship. So what the fuck are you people talking about? If you
Oh,
want to
there
talk
was a
about dictatorship, I mean, isn't it more of a dictatorship if you allow open borders?
well. Here's the thing, though. Think about it this way. Say, for example, you and I, or Hitman, or Stephen Rose, or someone else wanted to leave this country, and we went over to Mexico, or we
Mm-hmm.
went over to Somalia over like illegally. Do you know what the fuck they would do to us?
Put us in fucking jail and torture us.
No, they would. They would kill us.
Exactly, they would kill us because we're over there illegally. And then you got to understand, when you're over in this undercountry, a lot of people, what I don't understand about other people is like they leave the country and they go to another country and think, oh, their laws apply to ours. And they realize, oh, shit, they put us in jail because we were vandalizing something. It's like, well, because over there, they're a lot more strict. You can't be vaping and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, who I was talking about too. That Brittany Griner.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, she was. She, you know, what's funny? She actually hated the United States, and then, but now sooner or later, when she was in jail or prison or whatever, she was begging to come back. Oh, so now you want to come back to the United States because you see how hard it is over there.
Their prisons make our prisons look like a bitch, and that's
Exactly.
exactly.
Yep.
And
I feel like sometimes I do feel like our laws should be a lot more strict. I'm not. I mean, there should be law and order in this country, but there isn't because the people who have money, they could get off on shit, and then it's like they want to baby these people that are like sex offenders. Like, well, they don't deserve a second chance. They fucked up.
and then you have these illegal immigrants who are trying to have babies here, so that way they can.
Use them as an anchor baby.
Yep.
Hmm. Pretty much. But that's the thing. I don't think, honestly, I hate to say this, and a lot of people think that the country's going to be better now that Trump's run it. But I'm telling you one thing: the country is never going to be what everybody wants it to be. So you better accept it the way it is. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Because you know the system is broken. It's going to stay broken because us Americans we're too selfish. We're too self-centered. That's the problem. So if I was to predict, as much as I hate to say this, and I don't even vote, I don't even care about voting, but I'm just saying, if I was to predict what's going to happen in 2028, The media's gonna make a lot of bad stuff about Donald Trump,
Yep.
and then somehow, some way, they're gonna find a way to get a Democrat in. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna get him in the House and Senate, and then Kamala or Newscum or whatever is gonna end up winning. That's my prediction. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if I'm right, I just told you how it was gonna be. So don't bitch about it.
You have, well, it all depends because if Trump, if Vance becomes the guy that I know he can be,
I hope he. I mean, I hope so. But if the media makes it out to be like he'd be an asshole, though, I just hope. I just hope enough Americans have enough common sense to realize what's going on. We need to stop being selfish and believing what the media is telling us, that Trump is this bad person who wants to start World War III, because he's never started a war in his history as a president. He's trying to end wars. He's not trying to start them.
right?
But that's what
Because
people think, that Trump's this evil person.
you go back to the Bush administration,
Hmm.
all that money that we did with Afghanistan and Iraq cost us a lot of damn money. And
What is the moral? What is the moral of the story? That wars help give them money. They fund wars so they could get them money. That's the thing.
look at a guy like Donald Trump; he doesn't even need it, but it's the second time that he's not even getting. He's actually refused to get paid for his time as president.
Exactly.
You know, and that right there tells you there.
All you have to know.
There's stories about Trump that the media never told you. Like there's one I found out that back in the '80s, he told his limo driver to stop the limo, and he went to go save this woman from being mugged.
Oh, see,
And these are things that you don't know about. You have to like dig deep to find them
it's because
because
the media will never want to say anything good about. What's the funny part about it is, before Trump was even running for president, they always loved him. All the celebrities loved Trump.
yeah, he was part of those. You remember those? They used to have them on Comedy Central, like the roast
Oh yeah,
comedy.
I remember. Yep,
Yeah,
he roasted. Yep,
yeah, he was on one of the roasts, and they were all liking him. He was on Celebrity Apprentice, a high
exactly.
show. Everybody was like, "I want to make money like Donald Trump. I want to be this and that." Let's just call it how it is. Donald Trump's a straight gangster.
He is. I mean,
He really.
the fact that he took a bullet for this country goes to show what kind of president he's going to be.
I will never forget when he got shot. He got right back up,
Hmm.
blood pouring for his thing, and he fist and said, "Fight, fight, fight. Let's fight."
Exactly. I
That
don't
right.
think Trump gives a fuck. That's the thing. He's like, okay, you guys want to try to kill me? All right, here I
Oh,
am.
what that is, Matt, is that's a leader.
That's a leader. That's what I'm saying. We don't Biden. If fucking someone tried to assassinate him, he'd be fucking hiding in his basement.
Now he'd probably be over there trying to sniff another girl's little kid's hair and like
Exactly.
be. He, you know what's interesting? If they ever do a live action Family Guy movie, they need to cast Joe Biden as Herbert the pervert. I mean,
Yeah, Joe
that man,
Biden.
that man's born to play Herbert the pervert.
Right.
Like, let me smell your hair there. Mm.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's so weird.
and to be honest with you, we're at a situation where, and some people are going to be like, y'all are different, but Trump supporters. But here's some things to people. There's not everything Trump does that I like.
Exactly. I mean, we don't have to worship him like he's a god.
No, I mean, he's, you know,
I do.
every,
I'm not gonna lie. I do kind of hate how most Americans are kind of cocky and arrogant towards people, though. Like, I get it. I get people hate that part, but you can't depict us as that. You know what I mean? Just because, like, Democrats, people that are liberals, you don't see them all in Black Lives Matter groups and shit, ruining cities. I mean, there's some of them are deep down to earth people. When you involve politics, though, that's when the evil comes out. I think. You know what I mean?
politics back then never divided friends, never divided family, never divided
Now
marriage.
all of a sudden, it's starting to be like, oh, if you're a Trump supporter and I'm a Kamala supporter, it's World War III in our house. I think,
People,
like the Undertaker said in his podcast with Donald Trump, he said, I don't have to agree with you, but I can sit down, have and work with you. We could have differences, but I could work with you. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you have to. People in this country have forgotten that you're you put your pants leg on one at a time, like everybody else.
Yep.
We breathe almost the same air. Doesn't matter your skin color or not. You are a brother or sister, and we are all God's children. And
We're all God's children. Exactly.
and whether or not they want to admit admit that or not admit that, I mean, I will give him credit though. Trump getting men out of women's sports, it's about damn time.
I agree. Men
If
should not
there
be performing in women's sports.
like that one at the Olympics that was from a different country that knocked all those girls out in boxing. I'm like, you're not a woman, you're a man.
Yeah, you're just. And the fact is, he did that because he's too pussy to fight men. I think.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm not trying to sound sexist with this comment, but God made men to be stronger than women, so obviously
Hmm.
physically stronger. I mean,
Right.
so if you're going to be physically stronger, it'd be like a man posing as a woman to try to be in a lingerie football league,
Oh yeah.
and okay, and okay, and it's like one of those things where you have all these you have it's like why would you want to see something like that? Why would you want to see a woman take a like a tackle really hard on the ground by a
Like
person
a
who
strong.
we yeah, and it's I mean that's just something that I'm not
Now
saying
you know what? If China was allow you to whoop that man's ass.
we need to bring back. And I don't know if anybody agrees. I don't know if Hitman agrees with this. We need to bring back crime and unusual punishment.
I agree.
I mean, we're so pussyfied with that whole entire thing because I look at it like this. Back then, they used to hang you, or like overseas. I forgot what it is. I think in Singapore, if you steal something, they cut your hand off. So
Oh,
when you try to go shake hands, you know not to do business with that guy.
well, was it? Don't they do that in Saudi Arabia too? I think
Uh huh. Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm saying. A lot of these countries have stricter laws because they realize you do something to ruin the country, we're gonna do something to you, and then you'll think about what you did. Like imagine someone stealing and they cut their hand off. Like, well, I'm gonna second guess myself because if I do, I'll get my other hand cut off.
Come here, doggy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, my dog's going crazy. It's just because she was like, oh no,
Barking at she's barking at a illegal immigrant.
could well she is she does do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I mean, it's that same thing that a lot of people just tend to really, really, really forget about.
Yep.
Really, I mean, just because you're a Joe Biden or a Democratic supporter, which
Hmm.
which we which me and Mel has family that is.
Yeah, I mean everybody has family members that are opposite parties.
Here's the thing, though. When we meet up with her siblings and they're from New York and they are all against Donald Trump, anytime
Mhm.
we meet them, we never talk about politics with them, and we
And
always
that's the
show
thing. You got to
love.
avoid politics because you know they're not going to agree with you, and then you'll just be arguing all day, and it will ruin your visit there.
Yeah, and but what the thing is we still show them love, and they show us love, and we show them respect, and it's
That's all
just
it is about love. That's what the world needs is love.
right.
Less hatred and more love.
I mean, I think we all can agree that we hate the NFL referees.
Yeah.
That's just,
Yep.
but NFL, like the NFL, has been too capitalized, too commercialized, and now with all this FanDuel and MGM bet and all this stuff, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I think the NFL is scripted now because the NFL has pretty much called themselves an entertainment. They actually call themselves entertainment now. They don't really call
Well, you
themselves.
remember what was it? I don't think it was FanDuel, but it was DraftKings that had you could bet on WWE matches. So basically, WWE is even involved in gambling sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
Yeah.
what does that go to show you? I mean, Now, do you think it's more scripted to where the referees control the game, or do you think it's scripted like where the players know the outcome?
I think it's a little bit of both now.
So you think some players are being paid money on the side to throw a game?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, if you were to predict how they're going to script this matchup, do you think that they're going to have the Pate, no, not the Pate, the Chiefs win and be the first team to three-peat, or the Eagles get their revenge? I think, honestly, I know a lot of Chiefs fans think they're going to three-peat. I think the Eagles are going to win because Tom Brady is announcing that game, and I think Tom Brady could have some say-so in that matchup. He said, "Hey, you got to rig it for the Eagles to win this one because the
Well,
Eagles beat my team."
Tom
What's that?
Brady's Tom Brady's also called out the referees in those Chiefs,
Well,
especially.
everybody's called him out though.
Well, here's the thing, though. I hate the Houston Texans with a passion, but the Texans got screwed
Exactly.
in that game. I mean, it's clear as black and white that you can't even blow, you can't even breathe, you can't even fart near Patrick Mahomes' direction.
Yeah, because the referee will throw a flag.
And it's just, and it's insane. Now, some people are like, well, Brady got away with shit too. But here's the thing about that different situation.
Hmm.
Brady also took some hits.
Exactly. He did take some good hits, and a lot of people forget about that. When Patrick Mahomes takes a hit, he flops and acts like he got hit. He's like the LeBron James of the NFL now.
Oh my God. And LeBron's the biggest flopper in the world. And I used to think it was Bill Laimbeer of the Detroit Pistons back in the 80s and 90s.
Mhm.
LeBron's got him beat.
LeBron's a better actor, I guess.
And
LeBron needs to retire. He's 40 years old. He's not, and I don't think that Lakers team's going to be any good with Luka on it.
I
I think
think
a lot
what
of
it
people they're going to overhype him.
I think what it is that now the LeBron fans that are when they have these debates between him and Jordan,
Hmm.
now they're trying to say LeBron's got longevity. Well, no shit, LeBron's got longevity.
Right. Well,
I mean,
also he's broke the all-time scoring record, but that's because he played so long in the NBA when he was a young kid. He played when he's 18 years old, so of course he's going to break the record.
well, people forget Jordan's second season. He only played 17 games because he hurt his foot.
Exactly. Hey,
Um,
I'll tell you what, Jordan was a tough motherfucker, though. So was Kobe. Kobe was tough.
so here's the thing too. You also got to keep in mind Jordan left the NBA for a year and a half,
Uh-huh.
and then he came back 17 games that one year. Now, if he would have, if he didn't retire after '93 and he would have kept playing,
Uh-huh. He probably would have won more championships.
they would have had more championships, and he would have had more.
We also wanted to leave because he wanted to fulfill his dad's wish and play baseball.
Yeah,
So he played for the White Sox for a while. I mean, even though he sucked, at least he went out. Now, LeBron, I don't think he'd ever be able to pull that off as go to a NFL and be a receiver or something.
yeah.
And I just think it's time for LeBron to retire.
So, what's the situation going on between Miami and Butler? Like,
Oh,
what's
we just traded him to the Warriors. I believe we got like a first round pick, Andrew Wiggins, and somebody else. But we trade he's on the Warriors now. So we'll see. This is basically the Warriors have to win the finals this year. If they don't with Jimmy Butler, the trade was a failure because he signed a 2-year deal with them now, so he's got 2 years to do it. If they don't win a championship with Butler, then he's going out a loser.
absolutely?
I mean, they do got a pretty good squad. I still think Stephen Curry's still good.
You know, it's sad that I don't really watch the NBA as much anymore because I just get tired of the whole.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I just get tired of the
Flop,
whole fucking bullshit.
flopping and shit, and then most games, and then you got that stupid NBA Cup. It's like they're trying to make it like it's like international or something.
Oh, and then, and then what's interesting too is you get guys like on Fox Sports, like you get like Nick Wright and all them who thinks that the NBA, that like they think that the '90s and the NBA sucked. I'm like,
Mhm.
Are you
I mean,
kidding me? With
well,
that
back
shit?
in the '90s, a lot of players got away with hard fouls.
Yeah, you took shots, you got hit, you. Um, I feel like the teams were tougher. You know,
I think a lot with the NBA, it could be a better sport. I think a lot of teams just every time their game plan is just they go down the court and just try to shoot a three more than try to get to the rim.
right?
So I think honestly they should try to like limit that. Like say, okay, this team can only shoot so many threes. If they shoot over the limit, that's not going to count or something. Do something like that, basically. I mean, if it's getting to the point where every team just wants to shoot a three all the time, then all that's going to do is influence kids all the time in their high school sports just to go down the court and try to shoot a game winning three instead of like strategize and find ways to score other ways. You know?
That's just and it sucks too because the NBA all they do is like stop shoot three, stop shoot three, and it's like threes used to mean so much more back then when they were just like you would pass the ball around, you would go one of the shooters would get a block would get a block from their teammate, and then all of a sudden go around there,
Yeah,
and it's like, well,
and that's all changed now.
it's all changed now. It's ridiculous that I'll tell you another person who I feel like is a fucking hater, and that's Scottie Pippen. He needs to be ashamed of himself.
No, Scotty. Yep. Isn't his son dating was his son's dating somebody that's
Jordan's son was dating Scottie's ex-wife, but they're
oh
not.
Scotty, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, Scotty's ex-wife Jordan's son was
But they're not together now.
okay.
I mean, I know that had somewhat to do with it, but I think Scottie was pissed because of the Last Dance where Michael brought up Scottie back in 93, 94 when he got mad about how Phil Jackson designed that shot for Tony Kukoc instead of him.
Mhm.
And I'm like, you guys could have easily gone to the finals that year,
Yep.
but Scottie had to be a little bit of a prick about it, a little Madonna about it.
Then he ended up going to the Portland Trailblazers, and he wasn't shit there. And then they went to the
Well,
They went to the Western Conference Finals and then go to the NBA or some finals or something.
well, he went to the after the Bulls. He went to the Rockets to try to play with him and Olajuwon and Barkley. Him and Barkley couldn't get along,
Oh yeah, see that's the thing. He's
and then
always the second wheel.
he went to the Portland, and then Portland got to the Western Conference Finals against the Lakers in 2000. But
Okay, there. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, they went to the and they lost to the Lakers, and the Lakers went on to win the finals. So it's like, yeah, Scotty. After if it wasn't for, I mean, I can't say that. I could say in a way they both kind of balanced each other out though, because if it wasn't for one of them, they both would have not been had 6 championships.
I think
You
Jordan would have gotten to the finals eventually without Scotty.
think so?
I think so,
Eventually, but you'd have to give him talent.
and that's the thing though. Jordan didn't really have a mega team. People could be like, "Well, he had Scotty and he had Horace the first, and then he had Scotty and Dennis. He had Dennis Rodman on the last couple years of Rodman's career,
Exactly. Well, Rodman played for the Pistons before.
right? So Michael didn't have a super team. These
Yeah,
these guys on there now have all these super teams,
I think that's what's ruining the league.
and that's what's ruining the league because the league needs to be about competition. It needs to be about the fact. The reason
Hmm.
why Mike, and Michael even said it in an interview once. He could have went to L.A. and played with Magic. He could have went to New York and played with Patrick. He could have went to the. He
To
could have went to
Boston,
the. He could have went to the
Boston
Sun,
Celtics.
Boston with
Yep.
Bird,
Hmm.
but he wanted to go to these. But he wanted to be away from them because he wanted to kill them. He wanted to beat them.
He was the natural born killer. Whereas in
Right.
LeBron, I mean, I'm glad he played for my team, but whereas in LeBron, he had to follow Dwayne Wade and team up with him because that's his buddy with Chris Bosh and everything. LeBron never had that killer instinct, and the thing about LeBron is when the going gets tough, he'll go somewhere else and say, "I want to be." He tries to take over as a GM basically. He says, "I want this player, I want that player," and it's like, and he gets coaches fired. He tried to do that with Eric Spoelstra. He tried to get him fired. It's like, "Yeah, I want Spoelstra fired. I want you to be the coach, Pat." And Pat said, "No, I'm not firing Eric Spoelstra."
That's the thing about now. It's been some kind of history. I don't know if you heard about this, but apparently LeBron's bragging about a pickup game that he did with Jordan and them back in 2003.
Is he really bragging about that? He's like, what he said? I beat him in a matchup.
He said that he basically smoked all of them.
Oh, really? Did
I'm
he
like,
get
yeah,
dunked on by that future? I don't know what his name was, but he was a future NBA player. He dunked on him. It was like a high school player. He was like 18 or something. He
yep,
dunked on LeBron.
yep.
That was funny.
Here's the
So I
thing
mean,
about here's the thing though, bragging about those pickup games. He was probably sitting there for a while
mm,
because he's a high schooler, and he probably played against them when they were already tired. Because anybody's ever played pickup basketball games, and I have, if you
mm,
sit there for a while and the other guys are playing and playing and playing until they lose,
yep,
you're pretty much facing them when they're tired.
yep. Eventually, you're gonna get tired out. I mean, we're all human. We're not gonna be machines and be out there all day. You get tired, you get sweaty and dehydrated.
Yep.
I mean, it's like, yeah, if he's bragging that he beat him, yeah, he beat him when he was tired out.
And I guarantee you, Michael didn't even guard him that day.
Michael probably just said, "All right, kid, I'll let you win." Oh, that's the funny part about it was as soon as Jordan retired, that was the year LeBron came in the league. So
Mm-hmm.
after Jordan retired, LeBron came in, and then it's funny that wanted to copy Jordan and have 23, and then he goes to Miami and says, "I want to change it to number 6 because I want to respect Jordan." And then he goes back to Cleveland or something. And then he goes back, he puts his number back to 23. So he's a hypocrite.
And then he goes to the Lakers, wears number 23, and then wears 6 again, and now he's wearing 23 again.
See, he's just flip flopping with numbers. Yeah, LeBron's just an idiot. And the fact that he's got 4 championships and I don't even count that bubble one.
No, I don't count the bubble one either, and I don't even count the stupid cup that they gave the Lakers last year either.
Yeah, he runs around like that's his 5th ring.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they're
and they raised the banner like they sell like they won some. All that cup is, I think, that's just to show like, oh, if we don't win the finals, at least this is the second best thing. They should just do away with that cup shit. Nobody cares about it. They're basically ruining the NBA doing that shit.
they definitely are, man, and that's just as sad as it can be. That's exactly what's going on with the NBA right now,
Right?
and it's not going to change.
Never. I think. Do you think though it could possibly change once LeBron retires? Because I mean, they'd have to find their next face of the NBA, but eventually LeBron's got to retire.
I think eventually, once LeBron retires, and then they start bringing in these guys,
Yep. I might start watching it. I mean, I'm still gonna be a Heat fan. I'm not watching NBA, but I'm still a Heat fan. I might start watching it once LeBron retires. I'll watch it a lot more, like other teams and shit, not just Miami. But I think the NBA could be better. But it's the fact that we got this asshole commissioner Adam Silver who thinks that he knows everything, and he wants to make this like it's a popular. I get it. Basketball's popular over in other countries, but I mean, you can only do so much with it.
very true.
So it's like, okay, but like I said, they got to do away with the cup shit and just go back to their old roots. But I mean, they won't. I don't think they'll go away with like more. Uh, what am I going to say? They're not going to have it be like back in the '90s, whereas it went like they would get away with hard fouls because I think sport has evolutionized. Just like the NFL, I don't think they'll ever go back to hard hits anymore. It'll be. I think it's a society thing. Everything it changed. The generation. You know.
And it will continue to evolve. It will change.
I mean, yeah. That's one thing about sports, though. Is, I mean, yeah, we might complain about it, and it's going to evolve. I'm still not going to. I mean, like I said, I'm not watching NBA right now, but I might watch it again somewhere down the road. But NFL, I haven't stopped watching that. I'm still watching that. You know what I mean?
Exactly what.
If it gets to the point where they make it all about Kansas City winning every year and then shoving Taylor Swift down our throat, I might just stop watching it though. I might just say fuck it if they're going to keep doing this every year. I think Taylor Swift though, and honestly, I don't know if you believe this or not. We talked about this too. I think the whole Taylor Swift and Travis Kelsey relationship is just used as a marketing tool to make the NFL get more ratings. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure it is. And I know next video we'll talk more about the wrestling aspect of everything.
Mhm.
Uh, but I will say that one thing I am really seriously pissed off about, as far as wrestling fans go,
Yeah,
is they've been screaming to the high heavens, we need to build new stars. Well, Triple H and Shawn Michaels are building new stars, and then when a star who's completely fucking over on Raw, when you see him,
yeah.
people are upset now that Jey Uso won the Rumble, and I'm like,
Maybe they wanted Cena to win or something.
or they want to see another Punk or someone bigger enough to win, and I'm
Now, I
sitting there,
wanted Punk to win, but I kind of get it now because he was over. Jey Uso was over, and it makes sense though because it makes the rivalry with Gunther a lot more interesting. So he could go after Gunther and try to win the belt. I do think I don't know if you agree with me, but I do feel that Jey Uso is going to lose to Gunther at WrestleMania. I don't know why. I think he's going to choose Gunther, and he's going to end up losing to Gunther. I think that's what they'll do, but we'll see. I
well,
mean,
definitely.
that's another topic for a video. You know what I mean?
Well, I will say this though, I feel like now the fan disrespect that Charlotte Flair is getting is
Yeah,
absolutely deserved.
because it's her father's, and that's why she won.
Well, it's like she just wins every time she comes back. They just like they
Hmm.
go right back to her, and it's like people are tired of seeing her in
Right.
these events because we're like, look,
They're
you
trying to
may
make
be,
her like her father, the next Ric Flair, just win a bunch of titles.
yeah, you may be good there. She's already got 14.
Right. Well, they're trying to make her tie her dad, I guess,
Yep,
who's 16. So that's what I do think that Cena's going to win his 17th, but we'll see.
we will definitely see, but
Yeah, we've been on here a pretty long time. Do you think we should wrap it up? Because I mean,
yeah,
it's been about almost 2 hours.
yeah, we
Yeah,
should.
yeah, we did shoot the shit. I mean, that's what the title said. We did shoot the shit.
We did shoot the shit, and
And by the time you are back next time, I mean, Mel will be back in town, right?
yeah, I mean, I could probably do something again this weekend or something, but
Yeah, we could talk about it. I mean, I know we got busy schedules. A lot of people think that we're on here 24/7, but we're not. We got jobs, we got lives. We're living life to its fullest. We're
I
trying to
haven't
be the best human beings we could be.
I haven't done much on my channel lately because
Yeah,
I
maybe next one we could do it on your channel. It don't matter to me.
well, the one thing is I ended up
You know, like,
I've been getting I mean, I got a new role at my job, so a lot of it from
oh yeah, yeah. What's your newer role? You're not stocking shelves no more.
no, I'm ahead of I'm ahead of their
Security.
security protocol that they do and
Now
stuff like that.
you get a little bump.
Yep.
That's cool. And Mel's still the cashier.
She's working the front office now.
Oh, she's in front office. Okay. They say you guys are moving up in the world. And you're trying to
Yep.
save up and get a house, right?
Yep.
That's good. Now, uh, your mom still lives with you, right? Would you have her move in with you?
If she wanted to, she could. I think my mom's a very independent woman. Even though she's disabled on things, my mom's a very independent woman, so she more than likely would be like Nah, you guys have your place. I got mine.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's just how it is. I mean, me and Mel are looking to move out in the kind of in the countryside, away from civilization.
Yeah, I mean, get away from the craziness, right? Because the
Yeah,
city. You live in the city, you see how crazy the city is. And especially if you live in a bigger city like Nashville, you see how crazy it is.
but we're 15 minutes from downtown, but I still like you can still see the craziness.
I mean, yeah, 15 minutes isn't that far.
Yeah, so you're kind of like, yeah, I still see the craziness, and I just don't. I don't even have the urge to go downtown anymore. Like even if
Mhm.
Raw's in town, or even if it's like a Titan game, I just don't have the urge to go.
But I mean, when it's in the city, though, they're keeping more monitored, though, right? Because it's a big city, and a lot of people are trying to tour, right?
They don't really care about tourists. All they care about the tourists is their money and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
tourists,
that's true.
and the problem with Nashville is that the parking they do there during football games, they hike
Mhm.
that shit up to like almost $30 a day or something,
Right,
and then you have to walk on the walk bridge there, or you take a shuttle there, which is going to cost you another extra 10-15 bucks. And
right.
so yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, it's crazy. But I mean, that's all that's going on with you, buddy.
that is all that's going on with me, and this fact that I mean, Matt's seen the pictures, but I'm retransforming my body,
Yep. Yep.
which is um
Seen that chiropractor?
seeing that chiropractor, changing things about what I put in my body now. Because when you get that close, when you get into the 40s, which I'm in, and you get to be close to 45, I'd be 45 in 2 years.
Right. So I mean, you gotta really well when you get older though. A lot of people believe it or not, like when you get older, you gotta really exercise and shit. You gotta move around and stuff. Because I mean, you lay around in your bed. That's no wonder why your body's gonna break down.
Well, you also got I mean, it depends on it also the food
What
that
you
you put,
eat. Yep. The food
the
you put
food,
in your body.
the water. You have to do a lot more water intake. I will be honest with you, when you're in your 40s, you do have to pee a little bit more.
Yeah, that's true. Because you drink.
Um, get your drink.
Cause
Yeah,
yeah. But I
it's
mean, that's the thing about everybody's body. They're different though. When you get older, some people's bodies could react differently than others. Like someone could be 40, or no, like someone could be like in their 80s and they could feel like they're 40, and someone could be in their 30s or whatever and feel like they're in their 80s.
yeah, it's just pretty much like
It
how
just
you.
comes down to how you handle your life.
I can tell you this much: as a 42-year-old, where I work at, I run circles over those kids.
Oh yeah. Well,
You know,
as a fucking 31-year-old, I work circles around a lot of people at my job too.
yeah, it's one of those things where you're
Well, when
just
you work in a manufacturing place too, that it's a lot different than the restaurant industry. I see restaurant
yeah,
industry is very hectic, but so is the manufacturing industry. You go around, you're learning a lot of shit,
yep,
stacking cans, you're banning skids. It's not easy. I mean, but that's the one thing about people is like they think, oh, someone who could show you like say, oh yeah, that job seems simple because you're doing this and this. It was like, well, it's a lot more different when you work it though, and you come in and you see how it is. Like with you, for instance, when you're stocking shelves, people think, "Oh, that's simple." Well, but try doing it on a fucking 8-hour shift, and then tell me how you could do it.
but now do one of those things where you're doing that, then you help then you help people do the carts in like high degree weather and cold degree weather.
Yeah, when you do it on a day-to-day basis too, that does leave a toll on your body.
And then plus I go and I unload the trucks when the trucks come in there and stuff like that. It just
And you're still doing that, even your security, right?
yep,
And that's why they give you a bump because you're doing extra shit.
yep.
And you said Mel's in what? She's in the office
Well, she's like at the front desk of
or
the.
front desk of the. Oh, that's cool. And she got a pay bump too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there you go. You guys are saving up money and get your own house. Now, I don't know. You guys are still talking about kids. I mean, if Mel can't have a kid, would you decide like you guys want to adopt or something?
Well, we decided if we neither one of us can have a kid, that we would probably adopt a baby or
I
do something.
mean,
Yeah,
I
like
look
that.
at it as this way. It's like even if they're not your blood, I mean, I don't know if a lot of people want to know this about me, but I'll put that out there. Me and Jashi, she's older than me. Obviously, she's 45. I'm 31. But obviously, we decided because her sister gave up her child, her daughter, and said, "You guys want to have her? Because if not, well, I'm just going to give it to a neighbor in the Philippines." And they gave it to us. And I said, "Yeah, I'll take responsibility because I don't want her to be raised by neighbors." So I look at it as this way: just because you're not blood doesn't mean you can't be a father. Because there's people that are there's fathers out there that are blood, and they abandon their children. They don't even care for them. And then you got someone that steps in as a father figure to them, and they're the ones that they look up to as their father. You know what I mean?
Well, I tell you what, there's younger, a lot of younger guys at work look up to me as like a father figure at work because they know they can come to me about stuff that they can't, that their parents won't listen to them about, and
Right.
you know, so I've already taken over that mentor role down there. And it's like you have to,
You
and
shouldn't be what people say for you to be. Like, you know what I mean? Like someone says, "Oh, you two should have a baby. If not, then you're like a failure." It's like that has nothing to do with nothing because that shouldn't uh, influence someone to say, "Oh, if I don't do this, I failed at something." It's like, well, maybe you weren't destined to be that, but maybe God has something bigger for you. You know?
there's, that's the thing too is that I tell, and I'll tell anybody this before we wrap it up, is that if you if you can't get up in the morning, you don't have necessarily have to love your job,
Yeah.
but I love the money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People love whatever. That's what we all do. We work for the money. It's not that we work because we love the job. It's we work for the money. And if you hate your job that much, put in applications elsewhere and wait for them to hire you. Don't obviously don't tell your job right away. And if you're not,
Oh.
if they ask the new job, if you could put a 2 week notice in, and then try to tell that job, because that's what happened when I worked at Barry Dingles. I put in a 2 week notice for them, so that I put respect in. I stayed at Barry Dingle for 2 weeks, and then after that last day, I worked at Trivium. I got in for the orientation, and everything was fine.
And that's how it should be. I mean, and that's a lot of people don't know that. I mean, like, I've worked at a warehouse before, and I know exactly how difficult it could be because you're scanning packages, packaging them up, and sending them for the shoot. Then you're
Right.
unloading them, and you're loading them, and you're doing this, and you're
Yep.
having to pull all this stuff up there, and it's it can be toxic on the body. But when you see that paycheck,
Well, I think that's where the reward comes in. It's like, okay, our bodies are breaking down, but once the paycheck comes in, you see that money, then you feel proud of something, like you're proud of what you accomplished. Whereas in some people where they say, "Oh, I'm sick, I'm not going to go into work," and then their paycheck comes around and they realize, "Oh, why do I got less in my paycheck? Oh, that's right, I called off."
well,
You know?
I tell people this, and I got a lot of PTO that I have, so I've used it now for whenever we go to like on trips. Now I'm going to use that PTO,
There you go.
and the PTO is used to like, I'm going to get paid while I'm just sitting there on the beach.
Right. There you
You
go.
know, that's
Let it
just
pay
how
off, you know.
that's what you do. You let that thing accumulate,
When you
and
find a good job though, it does pay off to all the other jobs that you had in the past. And now you worked up to this job and you realize, oh, I'm making a lot more money than I should at these other places. It's like, okay, you went through the trials of working at these struggling jobs, and now you finally see the greener side of the story.
yep. And I honestly, I think we should probably. It is about the almost about the 2 hour mark now.
Right? Yeah, we should wrap it up. I mean, we really bullshitted. That's the funny part about it. Like, but it's been a long time since we got in touch with these. I mean, we talk to each other once in a while on Facebook, but doing
Yeah.
something like this really, really showed how much the bond was still there, even though we're distance away from each other.
Yep, definitely. I mean,
Yeah, we'll chop it up again. Maybe not this weekend because I got to work Friday through Sunday, but
okay.
maybe next weekend or something. We'll figure
Yeah.
something out. We got each other's Facebook contact and shit.
Yep.
All right, I'll talk to you, man.
All right. Everybody like and share this stuff, man, because if you
Yep.
don't, then then I'm gonna. I guess I'll have to get part Undertaker on some of you, and
Give it some stone.
yep, come to your house, roll back my eyes.
Yep. Come with the motorcycle.
Yep.
All right, this is Matt and this is Kev, and we're signing out.
See you guys.